Alright, well, with elk season coming up, I need a place to put my diaphragm calls, so I got this little muskrat pelt here. So basically what I'm going to do here is chop him. So I got a nice straight sheet. I'm going to start cutting it up. Obviously I got it right here. When you're working with leather, well, not so much leather, but hides with fur on them, you want to cut from the leather side and then barely cut down, because you don't want to cut any hair. Whatever you do, don't use scissors. You'll regret it if you use scissors, I promise. Alright, so as you can see here, I got my first cut done. All the fur was facing towards the back of the muskrat that way, and as you can see where I cut, all that fur right there, yeah, there was some that kind of came off, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I left all that fur on, and that's cutting with the razor blade from the leather side. Be very gentle and careful with this, or you'll lose all the fur if you want to keep the fur. Alright, another trick too is if you can get a split in your hide, if you can hold it open very slightly and then follow your line and just kind of spread it as you cut. This is muskrat hide, so it's very easy. It's nothing like dealing with beaver. Excuse the fan, it's 90 degrees in here today, so yeah, just follow your line down, keep spreading as you're cutting. A sharp blade goes a long way. I like to use X-Acto knives because they're super sharp and you can get very intricate with it. This was a muskrat I trapped. It's tanned with alum. Alright, so I'm making this up as I go, if you can't tell. I got a little piece of fabric, old shirt. I'm gonna sew it on the inside, and then I'm gonna, obviously I'll clean all that up after the fact, but I think that's gonna be my little pouch right there, just like that. So my first step is, obviously I got my fabric cut, so I'm gonna go through and put some holds down on all of this to hold the fabric to the actual fur and then the hide. And the reason I'm doing this is the cotton's gonna suck up any moisture from my diaphragm, and then I probably won't get that hidey taste with the cotton as kind of a barrier. So that's my next step. I'm gonna start sewing some stuff up. I use fish line when I sew stuff. This is what I'm using. Some spider wire stealth braid. It's 50 pounds. I was showing you my beaver hat. So this is my beaver hat right here. Yeah, that's my beaver hat that I made, and I use a fishing line for my sewing. I'm not the best sewer. I'm getting better, but I'm not the best. I've had this for 3 or 4 seasons now. It's the warmest hat I've ever worn. This is what my beaver hat was sewn up with. I've never really had a problem with any of the stitching breaking or coming out. It's super strong, and then you can make nice big knots in it too, so it holds everything together. Alright, so this is what I got. I got just a bunch of little tiny guys. I'll show you how I've been doing it. This is just to hold the fabric on there, so I can, 1, trim it to size, and 2, it will hold while I stitch it together. So what I've been doing, I'll show you this guy right here. So I've been doing a surgeon knot, make a loop in, and then in again, pull it tight. It's a surgeon's knot, in case you didn't already know. I think it's a surgeon's knot. I'm pretty sure it's a surgeon's knot. Alright, so now you got this right here. Then I've been stretching my cloth to where I want it, and then all I've been doing is up and in, just like that. Get in there, boom, just like that. Then I've been going, cutting, then I've just tied a double knot, just a regular old double knot. 1 and 2. And then I've been taking this and and cutting off the extra. Then as you can see back here, you don't really see anywhere that I've stitched. Everything still looks like muskrat fur. So now I'm gonna trim off the excess cotton fabric. Then I'm gonna decide the top. I think this is gonna be my top right here. And I'm gonna sew this all the way across before I fold it or do anything else. So next step, trim, and then sew the top. Alright, so I'm gonna do baseball stitches. I got this all trimmed up to size. Baseball stitchings where you just go around and around. I'm gonna have stitching on top of the pouch. I think that'll look cool and kind of help it a little bit. So let's find my needle here. So what I've been doing is with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, I've been holding the fur away, then going around. I started this with the surgeon's knot again. That's pretty much how I start every stitch that I do. So then I'll just go around, keep all the fur out, make sure the line stays straight, pull it tight, and then every so often I will throw in, I don't know what the hell they call this, I'm not a seamstress, like a cross stitch almost. So I'll pull in through everything, and then I'll take this and go through the string, and almost ties like a secondary knot right there. So boom, just like that. Alright, so I got the top side that I'm going to use all sewed up. Once again, I'm not a seamstress, so don't look at my stitching. It works, it's just not pretty. So I'm going to split this in half because I'm making two of them. I made sure to tie off and start anew right here on the left side, and then started anew on the right side, so I didn't have to worry about tying any of the stitching after the fact. So I'm going to get this cut, then I'm going to fold them over and start stitching again. So I got the top all sewn up, and I went through and did the same thing I did for the cotton inside. I did this corner, I did this corner, and I did this corner. So now I'm going to start stitching the side and the bottom. And if you think, I mean, you might be a better seamstress or seamster, I guess, than me, but if you think you can just sew all this up without doing these corners, I mean, good on you. But this is going to help me keep everything straight and where I want it. Some people will use like paper clips or clamps or something. I'm sure that'd work too, but I do a couple knots. I mean, I guess you can see that string right there, but anywhere else you're not really going to see it, but getting pretty close to a finished product. And then the diaphragm cawls will just go right in there. It'll be breathable, it'll be cotton, so it'll suck out the moisture, and it looks pretty cool and natural. Nice little muskrat fur. So I'm gonna get to finishing this guy up. Alright, so I'm doing the bottom now, sewing it up. So all the fur's coming down. It's coming up at me right now, but it's gonna be down on the actual pouch. So if the fur's fighting you, you can do the cross stitching where you put your needle through the slack that you're pulling through on the stitch. And as you can see, maybe you can see, kind of got it shadowy right here. This string will actually hold the slack up a little for you while you pull it tight. So that's an option too if the fur is fighting you. I'm right-handed, so I think it's easier for me to go right to left because I can hold with my left hand, hold the fur out of the way, get the needle in, and I guarantee you, if you haven't stitched much, this is going to be frustrating for you at first. But just take your time, be relaxed, be in a comfortable position, put on some music, and just, you know, enjoy the fact that you're making something yourself. If you're a trapper and you trap the animal yourself, just realize that it's a cool experience. It's a lost art. Not many people trap, let alone trap and tan, let alone trap, tan, and build stuff out of the furs that they do. I guess if you do it, then you're like me and you like to make stuff yourself because you know how you made it, what it's made from, you know how to fix it if anything ever goes wrong. and it's super cool. I'll finish this up and show you guys the finished product. All right, this is it. There's the finished product right there. Besides the stitching on the top, can't really, there's a little stitching right here. Once the fur kind of relaxes, you won't really notice it. So I made it big enough to fit multiple diaphragms in there. So yeah, you can really put anything you wanted in this. It's just a little pouch. You know, put your calls in there and throw it in your pocket, and they're protected, ready to go. They can suck out some moisture so you can keep your latex. And yeah, that's it for tonight, you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please feel free to comment and leave a like. If you're into trapping, I got some trapping videos up there. I actually got a bunch of trapping videos, got a few fishing videos, a couple hunting videos, so check it out. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you like it, if you want to just talk, feel free. Thanks for watching.